Hi and welcome to LeadingME Wee Gems, and today in this episode we're going to talk about dare to shine, bringing out your brilliance. Dare to shine. I'm going to start this off with a quote from Marianne Williamson, who was a spiritual leader but is now turned politician. I love these words, and I'm going to have to read them, but I love these words because I believe that most of us live in fear, but it's not the fear that Marianne calls out here. So, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. It is a fabulous quote. And I think she's on to something on that. We have fears of all sorts, but the amount of people who have fears over success and fears over what people might say if I do whatever that is. So yeah, we're driven by fear a lot of the time in life. And if we want to bring our brilliance out, then we need to, in LeadingME terms, embrace who we really are. So I need to know who I really am to begin with. And then I embrace those parts of me and that darkness and the light, right? Because that's what makes the whole up. So I thought by kicking us off on that, we could look at, how do we bring our brilliance out? What does that actually mean? What is it about? I've been using bringing out your brilliance for years. I say it at the end of every episode that I do, because that's what we came here to do, is to shine our brilliance, not just for ourselves, as in, look at me, look at me. I mean, this is, look at me, I'm just amazing and wonderful. It's not that, because in LeadingME terms, as I've often said, on the ladder of leadership, that's just bigging it up. Well, if I'm bigging it up, I'm going to end up in belittling as well. And if I big myself up, I have to belittle myself, because we live in a law of polarity. And I don't want to do that. But if I really look deeply in myself, I can see the fears that are there. And by just shining the light on those fears, they can disappear. But while we hold them close to us and don't look and hold them in and let's not go there, that causes us issues, because by turning away and not looking at the light or the darkness, then we are just existing. I often talk about not just bringing out your brilliance, but polishing and resetting the inner diamonds. When I do it, I touch my forehead, my heart and my gut area, because these are where the three brains are in our body, literally. And anyone who has gone and done the webinar, Silencing Your Inner Critic, I talk about these three brains, and it's all about aligning them. So when I'm talking about I'm an executive gemologist, I'm talking about we are human beings made of carbon. We have pressure and stress put on us, and it depends on whether we shatter into bits or whether we actually bring the brilliance out from that will make a difference to our lives and those around us. That is exactly the same as a diamond. And diamonds are very, very hard to shatter. And believe it or not, so are we. We really are hard to shatter. Some people are successful at it, but also some people are successful at smashing up diamonds too, right? They're the hardest compound on earth, but they are also made under stress and pressure. They are also made of carbon. So the bringing out your brilliance part that I've often talked about, and we cut, polish and reset the inner diamonds. The inner diamonds are where we store the brilliance within us. So if we look at what is that brilliance, well, one, if anyone's done my Decision Making Made Easy program, you'll know that I talk about the gut brain holding the values we have. The gut knows our values inside out. We may not know them, but we knowingly know them. And that is, the gut knows when you go against it, because you then feel sick. Absolutely sick to the core. But you may not know until you've done it, because I've not looked at me, I've not gone into me, I don't know me well enough. If I've not gone there, then I may not know as far as the head brain, because the head brain's about language. The heart and the gut brain are all about feel. That's how it communicates. If my head brain doesn't understand what's down in my gut and my heart brain, then it will override it, because it has free will. And we are the only creatures to have free will. So we have free will, and we can go against the divine will that is the feel that is down in our heart and our gut brains. So anyone who's done Decision Making Made Easy, the gut brain holds the values, the heart brain holds the why, the purpose. And the head brain is about the vision, obviously, with the eyes in the head, the vision going out, that 10-year vision or 20 years that I ask people to do. So when I talk about cut, polishing and resetting that inner diamond, I'm actually talking about, or these inner diamonds, I'm actually talking about aligning these three brains, but looking into ourselves to find that light and that dark. So how do we become brilliant? Well, we become brilliant, for me, by leading me, right? By getting to know me, who I am, vision, value, purpose. What's all that about? What are mine? I don't really know. I may be following something in a company, but actually I don't know what mine are. So we start there. We pursue our passions. We go after what we love. The biggie is that we embrace authenticity. And too many of us are playing the game of false face. It was a good book of its time, but I really don't like the book called Fake It Until You Make It, because I don't think we should be faking anything. I understand that what it's really saying is get yourself into that belief that it's going to happen. I get that. I'm all for me believing and saying things that maybe somebody doesn't think's true. But one example is studying German, and from day one of studying German, I said I'm fluent in German. Right? So that could be fake it till you make it in terms, but I'm not faking it in the fact that my core belief is I am going to be, but if I keep putting it out into the future, it's not going to come to me. So I understand that my words make a big difference, but I don't want to be fake. I don't want people to see one side of me one place and one side of me another. This is me. This is who I am. When I embrace that, and George R.R. Martin, he's the guy who wrote Fire and Ice that became Game of Thrones. John R.R. Martin has a great quote that is, I'm going to paraphrase this, but his quote is, when you accept your flaws, no one can hold them against you. And that is me accepting my flaws, my darkness. But as Marianne said, one part of it is I've also got to accept my lightness. I've also got to accept that I'm fabulous, I'm talented, I'm gorgeous, I'm brilliant, I'm amazing. And the problem is, masculine or feminine, whatever sexuality you proclaim to be, we all have an issue over not seeing ourselves as gorgeous, talented, fabulous. And when we do, we tend to be bigging it up and pretending and faking it. I'm not talking about that sort of fake. I'm talking about learning to go inside so much that I actually understand the brilliance and the gorgeousness of. It doesn't mean I'm the best looking person on the earth. It doesn't mean I'm the most talented individual there is. It doesn't mean I've got the most brilliant mind than anyone else. It's not a comparison, but we get into this comparison side of things. So it's accepting that other people will see in me, and I listen for those things, and when they say it, accepting that they say things about, oh my God, you're just amazing, and not pushing it back in their face. So that's what authenticity is all about. It's knowing what my values are. It's knowing what I stand for. It's knowing what I won't stand for. It's standing up without the fear of judgment. You know, that someone's going to judge me, but what if, and what if they say, or what if that happens? Then I'm just living in the future. I'm not living in the now. Authenticity is about living in the now, being genuine, building trust and connection, deep level connection. That means I need to listen, be present, fully present with someone, and really listen to what they're saying. Paraphrase it back so that they hear, I am understanding what you're saying, and I'm paraphrasing it back to you because I want to make sure I've heard everything. I've really heard you. They may say, no, Mags, it's this. That's fine. That just means that I've not listened carefully enough. But if I'm doing that, I'm shining my brilliance on someone else, and they feel the heat of that, and they feel fabulous with it. Well, that makes me feel fabulous. So embracing authenticity is a most definite on bringing out your brilliance. If someone says, oh no, that's not right, it's not jumping up. I mean, we go back to, as I often talk about, the ladder of leadership. Someone says, oh no, that's wrong, then they're bigging it up at that point in time. They think they're in control and they're judging. I'll let them be there. I want to be in this middle ground of leading me. But often we'll jump down to, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I am wrong. Oh, what if I do? Or, actually, you'll find I'm right. So all I'm doing is either bigging it up or belittling self or others. I want to be in this middle ground of leading me, right? In that middle ground where everything's easy, right? Authenticity is easy because I'm not worried about somebody judging me. I'm not going to be judging them. I don't care if you judge me. You will, because we've been brought up in that conditioning to judge. But I don't have to have the fear of it. The judgment comes from the person. If I'm judging someone else, it's to do with me and how I'm feeling and how I am. It's actually nothing to do with the other person. So the same comes my way. And if I'm living in that middle ground of leading me, then I can exude authenticity easily. You know, Eleanor Roosevelt said, and I love this, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. No one can make you inferior without your consent. And that's exactly what I'm saying. The fear of judgment is only there because I've allowed it to be there. When I don't fear that, and I know it's your judgment on actually something you're seeing in me that you don't like, it's called the mirror. In coaching, I often hold the mirror up for people and let them see in that mirror. We don't like it at first, but once we accept the flaws, then nobody can hold them against. I know my flaws. I know I'm not perfect. I am the perfect me, but I know I'm not perfect. I don't have an issue with that. But often people do. And I can't feel inferior unless I allow someone to make me feel like that. I need to give the consent over to them to make me feel like that. So it's not that they're making me, it's me. I'm feeling like that because of something someone said. And it's usually because I'm either bigging it or I'm belittling. And it's usually the belittling side. When it's an inferior thing, then it's belittling. When it's I am bigging it over you, that's the opposite one. Or they're bigging over me. I get the choice of whether I either jump up and big it with them or dive down and go into belittling myself or belittling other people, by using sarcasm or whatever. Or I can come into the middle and just allow it to roll over me. Remember, when I talk about in the movie, I can either be in the movie and jump to either side of bigging it or belittling. If I'm in that movie, right, and I'm watching and I'm seeing that movie in the movie theatre and I'm reacting, oh my God, I got a fright. That's so fun. I'm reacting. That's just me allowing my ego to manage me. When I come out of the movie and I see the couple who have come in and I can see the movie itself plus everything around me, I now choose my reactions. So you need to be out of the movie to be authentic, right? To not worry about the judgment that's been thrown at you. Because that's their fears, that's the darkness that they have within them that they do not want to look at. And they see something in you that reminds them of that, and you're going to get it in the neck. So what? That's your issue, not mine. I can make it my issue, but I'm not going to. So that is what authenticity really is. And the other part of being brilliant is that you practice each day some self-reflection and some growth. I meditate each day just to have some reflection time, just to have some me time, just to allow me to grow, for me to listen to what is in here, what that connection that I have. That allows me to have ideas, bright ideas, shiny ideas, brilliant ideas, right? That is the beauty of giving myself that practice of self-reflection. And it just helps me grow each day. And I would say, probably one of the last things I'll say on this is practicing appreciation. When we practice appreciation, oh my God, it makes us feel so buzzingly good. It's that, the shining the light out on others with acts of kindness and generosity. A smile when I'm in the supermarket and I'm smiling at someone and I get to the counter and I say thank you to the person who's, either packing the stuff or helping me if it's the self-check-ins, the girl who's there, just saying thanks as I leave can make their day without me even knowing, but it makes mine. It makes my day. Because whenever we are given appreciation out, that appreciation comes back to us. So that kindness, that compassion, that generosity, the practicing of all of that just takes your brilliance to another level. Because by practicing that, you are leading me. You are shining your light on others to allow them to feel the heat of that, bask in the heat of that, and make them feel good. Helen Keller says, keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows. Keep your face to the sun, you'll never see the shadows. And I love that, because often we're busy in the shadows looking at the, how bad I am, how that is, and I'm not good enough, whatever it may be, and belittling ourselves on that LeadingME ladder of leadership, right? We don't need to be there, guys. We can be in that middle section, the middle section of us called LeadingME. We can join our crew, our band, our team in that middle section. They never leave that. You know, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, never leaves that middle section. We are the ones that move to either side through the ego. Right? So allow yourself the grace, the generosity of spirit, the kindness to yourself, to go and find some self-reflection and growth of yourself so that you can bring your brilliance out and shine it on others. Because that's what our brilliance is for. We take diamonds out of the ground and they shine from us. Well, we've got 3 beautiful diamonds within us that we can shine our light. That head, heart and gut brain, we can shine our light through that by using the compassion and the authenticity within. So, dare to shine. Dare to shine. And basically, as I say at the end of every single episode, stay true, stay you, and keep bringing out your brilliance. Bye for now.